Black Ops 6 Zombies is a major issue, and to me, that is the high rounds. And I do have to say, before we get into this video, I am a very big fan of what Treyarch is doing with these zombie updates, because as you can see here, this is the very first time, literally since all the way back in the first patches of Black Ops 2 Zombies, that they've actually announced what they're doing to the guns. They even said that the recent change to nerfing ARs was an unintended carryover from multiplayer, which they're correcting, and also the HE1 launcher, which I would say particularly is the worst weapon right now in Black Ops 6 Zombies, is getting a massive buff, which is amazing. Honestly, I think the explosions in this game are definitely some of the worst, and they have their whole patch notes here of absolutely everything, which is amazing. And on top of that as well, we are getting a directed mode. And so this is where I'm kind of nervous because of high rounds coming up. Like, how is this going to be affected now that we can buy gobblegums? We've got a directed mode, and this directed mode, it kind of works a little bit weird. It says the directed mode will be offering a guiding experience through the main quest with objectives listed on screen, and all side quests, trials, and rampage inducers are disabled. So it's very interesting because essentially what it's doing is it's capping the Easter egg, making sure that you do it within the main quest. I'm not totally sure why this took so long to release personally. It makes me wonder why they decided to do this. It's interesting because some people are asking if they will decrease the difficulty of the boss fight, because I can see that is probably the biggest deal as what people are really struggling with. And essentially, you're going to be able to do the boss fight before round 15, so you know the boss is going to be absolutely ridiculously easy. And so at least that is nice, and that fixes a lot of the problems with Easter eggs. But I have some gameplay footage here of Ganon Snipes. I want to give a big shout out to this guy. This was the ZWC3 winner, and here is footage of him 12 hours into his game on round 278, or actually I think it's 12 days into his game. Oh my gosh. And so the strategy for high rounds has changed dramatically since Treyarch has nerfed the mutant injection spawn rates. And honestly, I'm not totally sure if I like this current strategies right now, because as you can see, the main strategy for Liberty Falls at the very least is using the GS45s to get a lot of pot damage, but also slowing down the zombies by having them in this zipline area. And to be honest, like, to me, this has no real difference comparatively to like spamming the mutant injections. Like, sure, there is at least a little bit more skill involved, but the issue that I have with this is that honestly, I just feel like high rounds right now are just kind of in one of the worst spots for Black Ops 6 Zombies. It either just feels like spamming a bunch of kill streaks where you're spamming mutant injections, or as you can see, Ganon just grabbed a chopper gunner, or you're just sitting in an area that prevents the zombies from being fast and just instantly taking them out. And so it kind of goes back to that thing of how really since Black Ops 4, we've really only had camping strategies in Call of Duty Zombies. And I can understand why a lot of OG zombie players are quite upset at that, including myself, because listen, we all love a good camping high round strat, but it's just sad that because of the speed of the zombies in current day Call of Duty Zombies, it just makes running hordes in Call of Duty Zombies completely unviable. And when you look back at the OG games like Black Ops 1 Zombies and Black Ops 2 Zombies, these were the strategies that people loved and spent tireless hours completing, because these were the ones that actually took a lot of skill. And so it makes me wonder, like, is this ever going to be coming back into Call of Duty Zombies, especially now that we know Black Ops 7 is going to be featuring Primus for 2025? Are they going to be going back to that OG Black Ops 2 style of high rounds? Because honestly, I don't mind camping strats. Obviously, they're easier, but I would definitely enjoy more of a challenge, I would say, in terms of the high rounds and the Easter eggs. Obviously, it is getting easier with the Easter eggs because of the directed mode, and I even wonder, like, will people even be using that now that Easter egg guides have been like fully out? People have had millions of views on them and whatnot. And so I just hope that Black Ops 6 high rounds are at least somewhat different in the DLCs to come, because I am at least glad that we have swapped from just constantly spamming mutant injections, because now they no longer drop from manglers anymore. That is a great change, but I do still think that, like, because because of that, you can't do any running strategies that are viable. Even with the fully upgraded augments on stamina, you're still way slower than the zombies. And again, camping will almost always be the best strategy in these modern type of zombie games where the zombies are faster than the player and they do too much damage. And so I just hope to see, honestly, I don't expect this problem to get fixed in Black Ops 6 Zombies, to be honest. It just does kind of suck, but I really hope that we get to see a massive improvement on this probably towards the next games coming up, because I just don't understand how we've had 3 games in a row for round base, being Black Ops 4, Cold War, and I would even say Vanguard, so maybe 4 games, and then finally with BO6 where the camping strategy is the only viable strategy. Now, like I said, when you look at the older games like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Kino, people are running on the stage, you know, Transit, people are running in the fog, and I miss that. I miss those days, and even with a lot of Black Ops 3 high rounds, there's even camping. And so I just hope to see a little bit more skill implementation in Call of Duty Zombies. And you can see, because of the game glitching here, there's also a massive problem where you can literally like lag out of a solo game. And that is like one of the biggest issues of Always Online. You can see here that he literally plays this whole game for hours and hours and hours, and he has to save and quit, or else the game could potentially lag him out. And so that's what I mean. Like, this should not be something that you're focused on in Call of Duty Zombies. Like, the fact that the whole playability of the game has always been in jeopardy literally since World at War is insane, because World at War is also the game with the longest reset times for a lot of zombie maps. And so it's just kind of funny that like they kind of nailed it back in World at War and BO1, and then now we're kind of just living in a whole other world where camping strategies are the only viable thing. And so I honestly, like, part of me thinks that Treyarch will just never remove camping strategies because they want to make high rounds easier for the newer player, and most newer players just want to camp, spam the ray gun. And so it goes against the theology of why they took out Ring of Fire, though. Like, if they want players to do that, just add Ring of Fire back. They might do it for the DLCs. I know the first DLC is adding Frost Blast back in the game, and so, I mean, I don't really care about that. But honestly, I also think that, like, a couple of the buffs they need to do, like I said, double tap would be huge. Upgrading any of the weapons that are just regular tier, because, I mean, look at this. He's basically running a Black Ops 1 strat here, where he's running Mustang and Sally's, and then the main Wonder Weapon of the map, which is cool, but again, it's not the actual OG strategies of the day. And so hopefully, like, with some new maps coming out and obviously with some new Wonder Weapons, I hope to see that the high round strategies change over time, because I think right now literally the main way people find and play a new map is they're like, okay, let's find the smallest room, and then let's find the smallest room with the least amount of spawns to get into the Black Ops 6 Zombies high rounds. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you guys are enjoying Black Ops 6 high rounds, or if you are not. I've only gotten to round 100 on Terminus and Liberty Falls, and to be honest, just seeing this game and how it's played, where you have to really focus on the save and quit feature and whatnot, just kind of makes me a little bit upset with how the game is currently being played. And I honestly hope to see some OG running strats where the zombies are a little bit slower coming in for Black Ops 6 Zombies, and potentially the future with Black Ops 7.